Today I am on here because I'm going to do a solo episode. And what I want to focus in on today is really just learning how to heal using humor. And I think sometimes we get a almost like a distorted view on when people laugh and is it really coping? Is it a defense mechanism, or what is that doing for somebody? Is it just them hiding their true feelings? But I don't want to get into that. I want to get into what it's like to actually laugh, like to actually joke around, to actually have a moment or moments where you're really just experiencing some laughter, some happiness, some joy. Because I think that sometimes we take things too seriously and that ends up getting us stuck, right? That gets us stuck or fixated on the problem. And I'm not trying to tell you that you should ignore all of your problems or just stop thinking about things altogether. But what I am saying is, I think you should invite laughter a little bit more into your everyday life. Now, that might look differently for you than it does like for me, because, for example, I like to joke around a lot. I joke around a lot. Sometimes I do it too much, and it's like, oops, my bad, sorry. But I like to joke around a lot. I like to make light of certain situations as well. And if you're a therapist and you work in mental health, you know that sometimes you deal with things where you just have to say, okay, I gotta just laugh that one off. Like I have no other answer for this. But when you invite humor into your daily life or your routine, you're also helping your brain, you're helping your body de-stress, relax. You're releasing serotonin, you're releasing dopamine. You're essentially helping yourself lower the cortisol levels that are going to try and spike up the stress. When you laugh, when you truly have a belly laugh and you really let things just kind of go and you can just crack up, things change in that moment. It's almost as if you're kind of just free. And if you know me personally, you know that with my friends, with my family, with my wife, with my brother, my dad, my mom, like I joke around, we joke around, and we have fun. And you know what? It's not to say that we don't go through anything in life, because we've been through some things and there have been hardships. But in those hardships, we still find the source of our hope. First of all, is our faith. And that's our faith that we have in the Heavenly Father. And we find hope in Him. But we also find joy that comes along with that. And there's joy in even salvation. And so I want to just express to you all today to really continue to, even when you don't feel like it, try to seek out something that'll get you to laugh a little. Try to seek out something that'll get you to smile a little. Because when you do that, not only are you inviting laughter, happiness, joy, but you're also retraining your brain as well, because sometimes our brains get programmed to think a certain way. And that's what we would call a cognitive distortion if you're referring to it from a CBT perspective. But when you really have those moments, and if you could even do this for me right now as you're listening, if you could think of a moment where you remember, like, man, I was just laughing, like we were just having a good time. And if you could think of that moment and think back and go, that was cool. Reflect on that, feel that, and seek out whatever it is that made that happen for you. Invite humor into your life. Humor heals. Laughter is medicine. You can seek out certain things that will bring light to situations that maybe seem dark. And for example, me, I love watching comedies. I name a comedy, I guarantee you I've seen it. Name a comedian, I probably know them. And just any sort of like parody or things like that. Like these are just things that I've always been attracted to. I've always been attracted to the humorous side of things. And that's my personality. And you might not be like that, but I just want to challenge you all today to try to invite a little bit more into your life. If you feel like that's not you, that's not your personality, I really want to do that like therapist move and say, I'm wondering what that's been like for you, not doing that. And think about it. You know, sometimes people are very serious and there's a time to be serious. I get it. There's a time to be serious and there's a time to be relaxed and there's a time to be professional as well. But who said you can't integrate a little bit of both? If my style is a little different, it's a little unorthodox in the way that I approach things. I'm very down to earth, I'm very chill, but I always keep it professional. And I always do my best when I'm either working with a client or when I'm working on something, a project. I want things to be done with excellence. I want things to be done where people say that was great. That was excellent. And I also understand that there's a way to integrate joy. There's a way to integrate happiness. There's a way to be a little bit loose, down to earth. You know, do some breathing. My nose is a little stuffed, so it's a little bit congested right now, but do some breathing. At the end of your night, if you can, watch something funny, a sitcom, a movie, a YouTube video, a reel. Go through and watch some stuff that'll make you laugh a little bit. Read some jokes. Hit up a friend that you know, like, hey, you remember that one time when we did that? And hopefully they respond. If not, try to think of it yourself. But I do that sometimes too, where I'll just start cracking up just because I remember something that I did or that family members did or something. And if you, again, if I could invite you into my life for a minute, we have fun in our family. And it's not to say that we have not been through things. I think, as a matter of fact, that might be why we actually have fun, because we truly appreciate those moments because we've been through so much. And when you do those things, when you allow yourself to let loose and you allow yourself to feel happy, just feel it. And if you can't, and you're like, I don't know how to do that, I don't know what to do, you can reach out, you can continue to seek out assistance, whether it's therapy, whether it's coaching, whether it's counseling, whether it's resources from Worthwell. Let's talk. Let's figure that out, because life should not be this just dreadful thing that you always feel down and out and defeated. And if that's you right now, I really want to encourage you. And I really want to say to you, that's not God's will for your life. That's not what God wants. My faith stance is really where this mind stance movement comes from as well. It's that uncompromising faith that I have that keeps me grounded on that foundation, to not compromise, but yet be able to pivot when I need to and adjust as I need to. So I want to just bring out all of these things because these are things that I do myself, and I'm recommending them to you all as well. And if you forgot how to laugh, I want you to really dig deep and look back to those times where you go, wow, I didn't realize, like, I haven't taken the time to laugh. I haven't taken the time to feel. And fellas, it's June, it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and that's something that is a whole other topic as well. Fellas, it's okay to feel. And sometimes our feelings are discomforting. And I think essentially emotional regulation is really just learning how to become comfortable with the uncomfortable. But when you can learn how to stop, think, acknowledge, process an emotion, and say, wow, this is what's been going on, rather than repressing and suppressing it, it changes things. It changes your disposition. It changes your demeanor. It changes the way that you interact and respond to other people. If it's in the morning and you wake up and you just don't feel like getting out of bed, I challenge you right now. I say, when you don't feel like it, sometimes you got to faith like it. Sometimes you just got to say, I'm a believer. So I say, we walk by faith and not by sight. And that might not mean something to you, but it means something to me. And if you'd like to know more about that, then I want to encourage you to reach out about that as well. Because we're living in times where there's so many different things going on. There's so many stressful situations. Depression and anxiety rates are at an all-time high. Depression and anxiety rates are not only at an all-time high, but they're also starting at a younger age than they ever were before. Suicide rates are at an all-time high. People are suffering in silence. People are suffering even behind some of the laughter and the laughing. And so when you give yourself the opportunity to really reflect and say, wow, do I need help? Do I need support? Do I need a group of people that I need to surround myself with? Do I need to switch it up a little bit? Do I need to change the circle that I've been hanging around with because maybe they just keep bringing me down? Maybe there's so much negativity. Maybe there's so much that is going on that I just can't deal with this anymore. I need to get some light. I need to get some energy recharging from somebody else. My squad, my circle, they give me life. My wife, my family, my son. My son he's going to be 2 in August. I mean, this little guy is a comedian, man. He has us cracking up all the time. I'm like, how do you know how to do that right now? Like, where he must be his father's son. And my wife is funny as well, and so he got it from both of us. But he brings so much joy to our lives, and I find happiness, I find pleasure in the present. And so I want to tell you all too to not worry about the future and not worry about the past, but focus in on the present. And yes, the past does bring context to your present. But you can also say to yourself, you know what? I can accept what I want to, and what I am going to leave behind, I'm going to leave behind. And what I'm going to embrace moving on and moving in the next direction, moving forward, is going to be something that I see as a promise that is going to be fulfillment and satisfaction. And I'm not telling you that every day is going to be a good day. I wish I could sit here and tell you all that. I wish I could sit here and tell you all that life is just about sunshine and beaches and, just chilling on the sand. That's not true. But you can take time to go and experience sunshine and beaches if you make the effort. And so when you let down your guard and you loosen up a little bit, laugh a little, smile a little, challenge yourself to smile, get outside of your comfort zone, smile, say cheese, like laugh, be cheesy, be goofy sometimes. I think we have so much seriousness in the world right now that it's so hard to even like let loose because everybody's so tense. If you wake up in the morning, you don't feel like it, faith like it. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, I can't go back to sleep, I don't know what to do, think of something that'll bring some relaxing emotions into your mind and into your body, and think on those things. Relax a little bit, rest a little bit, because when you have that stance and that position of like nothing can steal my joy, then the things that come might try to disturb the peace that you have, but they can't take it away. The things that come to try to distract you from what you have going on might try to disturb and distract, but they cannot take it away. It's like when you're just locked in and you are focused on what truly matters, who truly matters, and what you value in life, then the things that come to try to take away that value, you'll just look at it like, you can't steal that from me because it's not yours. I'm not going to let you have it. So when you have a rough day, unwind a little bit, watch something funny, do something funny, talk to somebody about something funny, relive the experience, laugh a little, have those belly laughs where you just start cracking up and you can't stop laughing. And let's just really try to see some light, because there's a lot of darkness out there. But we can still continue to shine, and we can still continue to be positive and optimistic. Remember this: being optimistic is not being in denial. It's simply stating an alternative perspective to a pessimistic point of view. It's simply stating the alternate perspective to a pessimistic point of view. Heal with humor. And do the other things that you're doing as well. Yes, healthy dieting, if you're going to therapy, if you attend church, if you exercise, all those things, right? But invite humor into your life as well, and watch how things start to change for the better. I hope this was just insightful for y'all, helpful for y'all today. And I'm going to sign out, but that's the podcast for this week. And we'll be back next week. I have a special guest coming on, a therapist all the way from Texas. So I'm excited to have my boy on here next week. But until then, watch some funny movies this week. Do some things that'll make you laugh. Hang out with some people that'll let you laugh a little bit. Live and laugh. And thank you all for supporting the movement. Again, super excited about all the things that are happening. Love y'all so much. We'll be back next week.